A glorious morning. Welcome back. So, as we are connected with one like the Second World War. So, in this the previous topic, what was the conclusion? The failure of League of Nations. Coming to the next, German challenges to vengeful domination. So, in this, what we are going to connect and we are going to understand that how Germans are going to be challenged. What Germans' ideology was there, in what manner the Germans are ready to bear the defeat, and what are the next step what Germans are going to take part. These are the things what we are going to know in this. So here, after Germans' defeat at the end of the First World War, as we know that, when compared to Great Britain and as well as Germany, like Britain, France, Russia at one side, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Italy, the other side. So among these, as we know that Great Britain was victorious and Germany was the loser. So at that circumstances, the Allied powers decided to punish to Germany only through one, what we have already learned about, the one what we call Treaty of Versailles. So in this Treaty of Versailles, how slavishly, in what manner they have became the slave or slavery. So that what they are feeling as humiliation, and with that intention, what was the ideology of Hitler means he want to rise up Nazi party back again. So whatever the things which are imposed by Treaty of Versailles, Hitler has come with a new ideology. Still he got more power. What is that means? I have to rise. I have to show my power. Whatever the things which I have lost in First World War, that I have to recoup, I have to get it back. So with that intention, here he made to get back the territories which are lost, and whatever the things which are described clearly by Treaty of Versailles. So these are the things what Hitler was making very clear. The main intention is that he want to get back the territories. Whatever the territories which are lost, he want to get it back. So these are the things with which what he has been made means the main intention is only to get back all the territories. So even the Nazism, they also wanted to restore the German control over Central Europe. Not only there in one particular country like Germany, total Central Europe they are targeting. How to rise, how to lead, in what manner they can get the power back. So these are the ideologies. That is what it says, German challenges to vengeful domination. After that, all these are the end of the restriction on German arms to build massive arms, army and armaments, as we have already come across. What was the thing which was already we discussed previously? To reduce the army, to reduce the weapons, and arms and ammunition should be limited. But here, they were not yet considering that, and instead of that they are thinking this is only the one, the industry to build which is related to arms and to have massive army and as well as armaments. That is what Hitler ideology. So in such a manner, what he was thinking is that only one can be served by a war. So all these are only the things that all what it describes very clearly. So things whatever he lost in the First World War, he want to regain back, and he want to have complete and central power. Like Central Europe, he want to have complete power, and he want to get whatever the territories which are lost. So for that, still he was only focusing on army, arms and ammunition, and that what it can be served to him. That is what is his decision in making of Germans' challenges to vengeful domination. Coming to the next topic, fear from socialism and Russia. What was the disastrous thing which we have seen the result in the First World War? This is only like how the social changes took place all over Europe. In the initial stage, we used to find capitalism, communism. But coming to the end of this war, like First World War, what are the results we have seen here? Means the only one change is what we call socialism. Socialism was only the impact here after completion of First World War. And here, the working classes which are turned out, especially the ideologies related to socialism and communism. So that what the changes here, what it makes us clear. The Russian Revolution in the year 1917, but the Russia was turned in 1922, like USSR. USSR is nothing but Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. So from communist ideology, they turned to socialist. 1917 to 1922, these are the differences. You can make a point. Previously they are communist ideology, now they turn to socialist ideology. That is what we call fear from socialism and Russia. So Russia participation in the war to begin peace negotiation. What was the intention of Russia? As we have already learned about the Russia, Tsarism, Nicholas II was held responsible, and most of the people, even they are not getting a loaf of bread. So with all the such type of things keeping in mind, what was the decision? Means only the one, peace negotiation. It's a talks to have regarding this. The Western capitalist countries like Great Britain and all these countries were uprising. What was the uprising means? Still such type of similar revolution may take part in other parts of the Europe. Then what will be the situation if everyone is going to turn towards socialism? Then what will be the position? That is what would start in other European countries of Europe. Even if other European countries are going to be start such type of socialistic ideology, then what about us? So that was the fear which was started. With that, they encouraged Hitler and Nazis to come together against USSR. So such type of encouraging to Hitler, this is what we call the policy of appeasement. The policy of appeasement, that they are encouraging Hitler and as well as Nazism against of Russia. So they wanted to please Hitler to get his support against Russia. So these are the things what it says, especially related to one what we call fear from socialism and Russia. So this is the end. After that, coming back to the next, what we are going to discuss about the one called immediate cause. Like after completion of the First World War, what are the impact and what are the results we have seen? As we know that Franz Ferdinand of Austria along with his wife Sophia was murdered by Bosnian Serb. That was what we called the immediate cause of First World War. Now we are entering into the Second World War and what and how the things are happened. The immediate provocation of World War II or Second World War is only the main Hitler attack on Poland. That is on 1st September 1939. So what was the impact over here means Hitler and his army, he tried to enter over there in Poland. German capital is Berlin, Poland capital is Warsaw. So German made the army to enter over there on Poland, that is on 1st September 1939. That is what we call Second World War. So there the German army, when and how it entered to the Poland. For example, if you take about Telangana, the capital is Hyderabad. Hyderabad is only the one which have all types of development like trade, educational, industrial, filling, all it became the hub of that. So like in the same manner, here for the Danzig port which is related to Poland, almost all types of trade, business, commerce, all types of activities are only done with this port, what we call Danzig port. Danzig port is only the one what they make their own development. So what was the ideology of Hitler? Just he planned to make his entry over there in Poland and to try to capture this Danzig port. So what was his intention means he thought of that it is in a small military operation, easily I can capture and I can get power over there on Poland, what he was expected. But whatever the assumption of Hitler, it was utterly failure. So why and how it was means, like he doesn't know that for the Poland, Great Britain was supporting in favor of Poland. So that what he was unable to understand, and the very next day even the France also joined and they supported to Poland. So that is what the military operation, what he planned to capture and to make control over the Poland and to try to bring this Danzig port under his control, but he was failure. That what it shows clearly. This is nothing but what we call the beginning of the Second World War. So what is only one word I want to make you clear. He thought of to capture that Poland Danzig port very easily, but he is unable to understand a military operation which was supporting to Poland, the great nations like Great Britain and as well as France. Even one day later, France to join to support of Poland. So this is the marking of Second World War, how it has been taken part. So almost all fascist countries, like whatever we are saying, they have started supporting each other. And what manner this fascism, Nazism was started making means, as we know that they are having only the one what we call military support. Militarism is only their main weapon, what they have been inculcated, and that was only the thing which they have been propaganda. Making of all the Central Europe and other European countries also to have a great fear that they are the great dictators. So in this manner, if you see, these are the two like what we call Axis and as well as Allied. Axis nations like Germany, capital Berlin, Italy, Rome, capital Rome, Japan, capital Tokyo. These are the nations what we call Axis nations. And coming to Allied nations like England, United Kingdom, London, United States, France, USSR. So all these are only the one what it says, especially about the one like United States of America, Washington, France, Paris, Russia, Moscow, England, London. So all these are the nations, they are very strong and they are called as allied or victorious one. So such a circumstances is going on. Here what are the things which was happened, the nightmare in the world history that makes us a very popular and everyone knows this history. What does that mean? In 1941, Japan and its allies like Germany, they tried to occupy Pearl Harbor. And at the same time, Hitler attacked USSR in 1942. 1941, Japan tried to occupy Pearl Harbor. In 1942, Hitler attacked Russia. So these are the two things what it says. As we know that Pearl Harbor related to America when Japan tried to invade that. So there and then, that is the reason America involved over there in the war by only throwing like nuclear weapons, like atom bombs in the city of Hiroshima, Nagasaki. What was that means even still today the grass is not growing. Such a deadly dangerous weapons what United States of America is possessing, that Japan was unable to identify the strength, stamina of USA. But there and then, to make the counterpart of that, USA has thrown bombs over there in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, that even still today the grass is not growing. That is the world history that everyone knows that. So these are the things what it was happened, and USA and USSR, they have been together. They are nothing but what we call superpower nations. Now they joined against Japan and as well as Germany. To make you clear, USA versus Japan, Germany versus Russia. These are the two things which has been made in this entire immediate cause which is related only. This is the beginning or the mark of Second World War. That's what it says. After the end of the World War II, the defeat and the end. The initial victories of Germany, though initially the Germans were victorious, but what was the last? See, whatever we do the wrong, sometimes what we feel that when God is going to give us fruitful days, when we are going to be blessed, how we are going to be make better. We hope for the best, but whoever, whatever they commit the mistakes, one or the other day they have to be found. The same thing was happened to Hitler. Though initially he made all the victorious, but the famous battle of Stalingrad in the early 1943, people all over Europe welcomed Soviet forces and hated Nazis. Why? What was the reason? Means here there in this famous battle of Stalingrad, Hitler and his close associates committed suicide. Why? What was the reason he committed suicide? Means people all over the Europe, they welcome only the Soviet forces and they hated Nazism. Not only that, they eventually captured Berlin, the capital of Germany. So that what he was unable to tolerate and bear, though he made the world dictator. But whereas there in the Stalingrad of the famous battle where he, and along with his close associates, they committed suicide. Though he became the world dictator, but at last what was the result? Means suicide. That is what they are saying here, how he has been committed suicide. Just he was unable to bear that. What he was unable to bear, that means like when he was defeated in the battle. So with that what happened means Hitler story put to an end. And thereafter, what was the situation over there in Europe, particularly related to Japan? So Japan was split into two parts. Japan was split into two parts. One is called East Germany, the other one is called West Germany. So these are the two parts of Germany, how it has been split and what we are finding. Here to the East Germany, in which what they are following called GDR. GDR is nothing but German Democratic Republic. And coming to the West Germany, they followed FRG. FRG is nothing but Federal Republic of Germany. These are the two divisions. And German Democratic Republic was there under the control of USSR, and Federal Republic of Germany, which was there under the control of USA. So these are the things which was happened after the completion of Second World War, as when USA dropped bombs over there in Japan. Now Japan decided. What was the decision of Japan? Means to surrender to USA. Whatever the Pearl Harbor tried to capture, that was surrendered only after throwing or dropping by USA the bombing in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These are the two cities which are related to Japan. Then they realized and they surrendered the Pearl Harbor to USA. So that is what it says. And what was the system here? Means like Japanese, like the old system, like following of same emperorship. So there in this, Japan emperor continued to have the same constitutional monarchy, like England. So these are the things, and what the people represented as only to follow the one in the Japan parliament, what we call died. So these are the things what it says related to one what we call the defeat and end. And many Nazis, generals and leaders, whoever they have been captured, what happened means they are putting to trial in the famous Nuremberg tribunal, sentence 11 leading Nazis to death. So what was the ultimate result? What we have learned from the Second World War means people are absolutely condemning and they are not ready to follow such type of ideology related to Nazism or fascism. That should be wiped out. With that intention, the situation which they have been turned, whoever they are supporting to such type of Nazism, they are not going to live. And many others were imprisoned for life. A little as compared to brutality. What was there means only if any people are going to be support for such type of Nazism, fascism, they are not ready to tolerate, and that brutality to their crimes, as per the crimes, whatever they are committing the crimes. So these are the things which was happened over here. So that was the things which were passing off. After that, what was the Allied nations? They decided the Allied did not want to be a harsh and defeat like Germany in the First World War. So after completion of First World War, they don't want to be harsh. Though they are the victorious, though they are the Allied, but they don't want to be harsh. They are trying to maintain the one, like especially the completion of First World War here, the Germany and as well as Japan. So for Germany and Japan, what are the things which is appearing over there? The whole world, only the two are there. What we can see here now. In the scene of end of the World War II, in the scene of First World War, we have seen Great Britain, Germany. But what was appeared there? Only the Great Britain and Germany we have seen. And at the same time, conclusion of the Second World War, the defeat and end, the whole world is observing or seeing on the screen only the two superpower nations. They are United States of America, Union of Soviet Socialistic Republic. These are the two which are limelighted, highlighted, that made only after completion of Second World War 1945, these two are going to be appear. And with these, when these are the two which are appearing, USA has come up with a new plan, what we call Marshall Plan. Here the nations like Germany, Japan, after completion of the First World War, they are not supposed to be they are not supposed to be suffer. So due to that economy to recover, here the USA president is coming with one what we call Marshall Plan. Like at the same time, Union of Soviet Socialistic Republic also, they planned for the package for the revival of Eastern European countries, how they can cope up, like what we have seen in Great Depression, 3Rs, relief, reform, recovery. So all these are only the plans which are related to get back. As I said, the wars are only responsible with 3 M cube, men, material, money. Now here men anyway they have lost, material also lost, at least whatever they want to be fulfilled, whoever they are alive. The past is past, but the present they should not suffer. With such type of concern, hospitality, these two nations are showing the importance and interest that made the world superpower nations. That is what we call USA and USSR. That was the end of the one what we call the defeat and end. Right, coming to the next topic, consequences of the world wars. What are the consequences? How the world was experienced and what things we have gained. These are the things what we are going to understand in this. The world war has long-lasting impact. What was the impact? How, whether it is profit or loss, what things are happened in these consequences we are coming to know very clearly. So these are especially the impact of the world war in what aspects means in politics, society and economy of the world. The maximum stress what we have find the impact what it is showing on politics, society and economy of the world. So how these are the things which we are experiencing, as just now we have learned. When Japan tried to invade or captured Pearl Harbor, USA dropped over the bombs. This is the nightmare of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So these are the things with which what is the new hope of all the world, what it is expecting, the one called UNO, United Nations Organization. So this organization introduced after the completion of First World War like large monarchy empires, and after the Second World War like colonial empires. First World War, after the completion of that, what we have experienced means almost all the nations like Austria, Hungary, Germany, they absolutely followed monarchy, autocratic, disorder, aristocracy, such type of rules which has been impact. And after completion of Second World War, almost all the countries, what they followed, colonial empires like Britain, France, Japan, Italy and as well as Germany. All these nations, what was the experience here means colonial rule. British rule, how the India was under the British rule, even these colonial empires which was started ruling over there, Britain, France, Japan, Italy. In Britain it was there, France, Japan, Italy and Germany even. So all these are the nations what was they imposed the only one what we call colonial empire. So after that what was the experience was in the year 1950. Countries like India, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Egypt and Nigeria, all these are the nations, they got their own independence and now they are free from the clutches of colonial rule. No monarchism, no colonial empire are the masters who left, and these nations are celebrating and they enjoyed their own independence. That was the one important. And here the superpower nations, most powerful and superpower nations, what are the two which are appearing on the world scene? If you see, only the two are highlighting and limelighted. What are they called? USA and USSR. United States of America, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. There and then the USSR faced enormous destruction and losses from the Hitler's war. As we know that USSR was experienced because of Hitler Nazism principle. It was enormous, uncalculated, irreparable damage which they have been made. So that what the USSR is taking as a prestige issue to rebuild the economy. How to rebuild the economy? That was very serious, especially regarding one that what the past experience from Nazism or the Hitler of Germany. So now they have joined the entire Eastern Europe and China to form a large socialistic camp. So at last, from communist and capitalism, they turned to socialism. That was a great prestige issue, especially in rebuilding the economy and to make as a superpower nations on the world scene. That's what it says about the consequences of the World War. Coming to the next, enormous human cost. As I said earlier, because of the wars, men, material, money is wasted. So such type of consequences, especially related to these enormous human cost, in which what they are going to make us clear, as earlier at the First World War, almost 10 million people were killed, not one or the two. 10 million people were killed, and in that, to notice, 75,000 are only the Indian soldiers. And these Indian soldiers who fought in Africa and Europe, as we are there under the British side. So this is what it says, 1939 to 1945, as we are there under the British rule, the Indian history, what it says. That was the question, whether India should support the British or not. That we can learn in that the partition movement related to India's partition movement, in which what we can get the same topic related. So that is what it says. So here we have to make a point and we have to understand that clearly that 75,000 are the Indian soldiers who were fought in Africa and Europe on the British side. And that is what it says. And after that Second World War, nearly the estimation 20 to 25 million people who were killed. And what was the painful thing here means almost all the men who are below the age of 40 years. That was a great loss. See, like men, material, money. Money we can recover it. Material we can recover it. But men we can't recover. That is a great, enormous human loss. Because of these two world wars, what it is experience and what we are seeing. Almost all 10 millions over there, and here 20 to 25 millions. And that one more painful thing, what is that means? They are only the below the age group of 40. That is what it says. And in what they are busy, deadly waste, arms and weapons, particularly nuclear and chemical weapons. So such type of things which were started after the world wars. This is the preparation. What was the preparation? Nuclear and chemical weapons. So these all are only the things what it says. And even still today, the world is still constantly living under the threat. Nowhere the people were happy, and this was the destruction of all life through even as accidental use of such weapons. Not only that, latest as what we have seen, COVID-19, even some nations like Italy, Japan, they throw everything out because they don't have the security for life. So such type of impact like what we have experienced recently, and these are the two world wars, that is what we have experienced. That all what it says, the consequences of these first two world wars, how they have lost the human cause. These are the things what they have been calculated. And coming to the next, what we call democratic principles accepted. Unless and until to know the light, first we have to face the dark importance. To know about the sunlight, first you have to taste about the moonlight. So what is my point means, no pain, no gain. Without effort, we can't see the success. So that what here the same thing which was happened over there after the First World War, Second World War. What is that means? Austria, Hungary, Ottoman Empire and Germany, almost all these are the nations what they followed, what they are inculcating means only the dictatorship, like monarchism, autocratic, undemocratic principles were there. After completion of these two world wars, like First World War 1914 to 1918, Second World War 1939 to 1945, then they have changed their mindset. What was the answer they are getting after all these difficulties? After facing all these difficulties in First World War, Second World War, they understood clearly the only one what is better means democratic principles are only better. That is what we call people's rule. That is the reason Abraham Lincoln, he has defined about democracy: of the people, for the people, by the people, we the people, to the people. So that was the reason all the nations are enjoying such type of liberty, equality, fraternity, justice. All these are only on behalf of one word, that is what we call as democracy or democratic principles. So these are the things what it says about the democratic principles asserted. So after that, the next what we are going to discuss about the one called change in the balance of power. How the power is going to be balanced. The power is going to be balanced, like if you take the equilibrium. So that what it says here especially. After the completion of First World War, the German, Austria, Hungary, Russian and Turkish, all these empires came to an end. Whatever the privileges, whatever the advantages in the initial stage, what they have lead, now all that was an end. After that, the Eastern and Central Europe map was redrawn on the basis of nationality, economic viability and military security. Now all the nations are trying to maintain the one what we call nationalism, uniting the nations together, how to rebuild their economy and how to make them secure. So these are the things what it says, only the change in balance of power. Not only that, after the end of the World War II, the map of the world changed yet again, like ex-colonies became independent nations. Now all these, whatever the colonial rule was there, that was an end, and now everyone they are enjoying their own liberalism, nationalism, equality. So that what it says about the one change in the balance of power. And the next what we are going to discuss about the one called enfranchisement of women. So especially when we talk about the women have the various stages. First, how they are going to be make the entry, like daughter, sister, wife, mother, grandmother. All these are the stages where the woman is going to be bare. So all over the world, what was their main intention, like the one what we call enfranchisement? Nothing but UAF, Universal Adult Franchise, 18 years of age to secure the one what we call right to vote. So like the woman will be engaged in various aspects like cooking, washing, cleaning, looking after the household things. So that's what they are asking. We are not only a breadwinners, we too want have a big direction that we want to change our lifestyle. So nowadays, like when we compare to the previous and present days, women are everywhere as a IAS, IPS, like hardware, software, doctor, engineer, pilot, whatnot. In all aspects, they are equally competing with men, and that was the present scenario, how the women they got their empowerment. Not only that, in political arena also they have taken a great direction. The first woman Prime Minister, Srimati Indira Gandhi, the first woman President, Pratibha Patel. So all these are only, they are having to build up their own caliber, and that makes the British women got these rights in 1918. What was that means? The right to vote. That is what we call enfranchisement. So equality in all walks of life they have secured, and that was a big direction how they have changed their lifestyle and how the women were happy. So a daughter is not a tension, but they make only a build up the family in all aspects. That all what it says. So women should be respected and women should be honored everywhere. That makes a country to develop. So that was the end of that what we call enfranchisement of women. Next, the formation of UNO, United Nations Organization. United Nations Organization came into existence on 24th October 1945. The headquarters are located in New York. The main aim of UNO is only prevent wars, preserve peace. Like in the First World War, League of Nations, and after completion of Second World War, the world peace is only the main aim of United Nations Organization. With that, not only that, it tries to upholding of human rights, respecting international law, promoting social progress. All these are the oneness are in unique future of United Nations Organization. That what it makes to have enhanced. These all are the things after completion of First World War, Second World War, what the League of Nations and UNO came into existence. After First World War, League of Nations, after Second World War, UNO. The main aim is that only to preserve the world peace. And not only that, it have its own agencies which are working under the UNO, like UNICEF, UNESCO, WHO, ILO. So let me make you clear about this. UNICEF, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. I repeat, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Next, UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization. I repeat, United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization. WHO, World Health Organization. I repeat, World Health Organization. The last, ILO, International Labour Organization. International Labour Organization, etc. So all these are the agencies which have worked. So what was the clarity we got with introducing of UNO is that like USA and USSR, the superpower nations, like building or making the power to be enrolled, what they have made here, they managed to prevent wars. That was a great achievement, no doubt about that. And not only that, maintaining peace and stability. So that how the balancing capacity was made by these two nations. That was the one what we are experiencing at the present scenario. That was the end. By this we have completed Second World War. Thank you.